Hi friends, it's Mrs. Jackson, one of the interventionists at Lester Elementary School. I hope you guys are doing well, and I just want you to know that I miss seeing you guys, whether it be in your classroom, in my small group, in the hallway, in the lunchroom. I miss you all, and I hope that you're doing well. I wanted to read you guys a story that's special to our family. This used to be my older son, who's now 17, one of his favorite stories when he was younger. And what's nice about the break that we're on right now is that I've been able to do a little more cooking. And so one of the things that we do as a family is we like to make pancakes. And I thought that the connection between the pancakes and the story might be nice to share with all of you. So I'm going to share with you the story called Curious George Makes Pancakes. And before we start reading, I want to remind you that good readers ask questions, good readers make connections, and good readers try to follow along and visualize what's happening in the story as the story is being read. So as I read this story to you, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to pause and think about them, and then share your answers with somebody nearby. Do you think you can do that? I think you can do a great job with that. So, before we start reading, let's take a look at the cover of the story. And let's make a connection to start with. Now, take a good look at that, and you can see Curious George, our little mischievous monkey, is going to have some pancakes. And I started off by explaining to you my connection to the story, that we like to make pancakes here, and waffles too, and that this story is one of my son's favorite stories because he loves pancakes. Another connection that I could make is that I see that there's some maple syrup on the table. I love maple syrup, and not just in pancakes. I can just very happily eat maple syrup in the form of candy, cotton candy, on pancakes, however you serve it to me, I'm gonna like it. What's a connection that you can make to this story just by looking at the cover? Think about that for a second. Can you share that with somebody now? Good job. Now, before we start reading too, we're going to ask a question because we want to think about questions we might have as we go along. I'm looking at this cover here, and I'm going to think to myself, I know from reading Curious George books in the past that he tends to get into a little bit of trouble. Not naughty trouble, but just trouble he doesn't mean to get into. So I'm going to ask the question, I wonder what kind of trouble George is going to get into in this story. Now I want you to think of the question. Remember, it can be an I wonder, it can be where, when, how, anything like that. What's a question that you have about the story? And make sure it's a question and that it starts with a question word. Think about that for a second. And now share that question with somebody nearby. Good job. I bet we'll answer that question as we're reading. Okay, you guys ready? All right. Curious George makes pancakes. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One morning, the man with the yellow hat woke George early. "Time to get up, George," he said. "The pancake breakfast is today." Pancake breakfast? I wonder what a pancake breakfast is. When we have pancakes, I don't wake up the boys and say, "It's pancake breakfast day." I'll just say, "Pancakes are ready." I wonder if this is something special. What do you think? Let's read to find out. Ooh, take a look at this picture. I wonder what this has to do with pancakes. George loved the pancake breakfast. It was a fundraiser held every year to make money for special programs at the Children's Hospital. Oh, so this is a place that they're going and lots of people are going to enjoy pancakes. It's a fundraiser. And fundraisers are events that you go to and you pay some money to get into, and that money is usually donated or given to a special cause or a special place that helps people. So George is going to the park where they're going to have a pancake breakfast, and look at all the other fun things that are there. Looks like a big place that a little monkey could get into some trouble. Besides eating pancakes, there were all kinds of games to play. Even the mayor came to play and eat. But first, he gave a welcome speech. "Thank you all for coming," the mayor said. "We appreciate your generous support." He thanked all the volunteers who were helping that day and finally said, "Please enjoy yourselves." And the pancakes. Ooh, that looks good, that stack of pancakes right there. When the mayor finished, the man with the yellow hat said, "George, I'm going to buy our tickets. Please wait here and don't be too curious." George waited like a good little monkey, but something smelled good. Could it be the pancakes? George was curious. Oh boy, and you can see right there, he's following the smell of the pancakes. Have you ever smelled something so yummy that you couldn't wait to find out what it was? Good connection. He followed the delicious smell and found a whole griddle full of pancakes. George watched the man pour the batter into circles and flip them up in the air. Look at how big that griddle is. I don't have a griddle that big, but that looks like it's a special griddle to serve a lot of pancakes at one time. It looked like fun to make pancakes. George wanted to help. On a table near the griddle was a basket of blueberries. These pancakes need blueberries, George thought, and he sprinkled some on top. Now's a good time to make a connection. What do you like to put on your pancakes? Do you like to put fruit in your pancakes? Maybe chocolate chips? Maybe you like them plain with just a little bit of butter or maple syrup? How do you like your pancakes? Good connection. Meanwhile, the man at the griddle was so busy he didn't notice the little monkey helping him, but the line grew and grew. George's pancakes were a hit. Soon everyone wanted them, and the man could not keep up. "Please wait," he said to someone holding an empty plate. "I need to find an assistant to help me." And just like that, he was gone. An assistant is somebody that helps you when the job gets too big to do. But he didn't realize there was a little monkey helping him out there. So far, George is being a good little monkey. He's being curious, but he's staying out of trouble. George looked at the people waiting in line and then at the empty griddle. Why, he could make pancakes. He could be the assistant. George poured the batter into nice round circles. Next, he added blueberries. He waited just a minute to let the pancakes cook. Then he flipped them over, and last he added the syrup. Good sequence words there. Next, then, last. Oh my, take a look at this picture here. George is really busy there. The line for pancakes was enormous, but with 4 hands, George made quite a chef, and no one's plate was empty for long. Remember that monkey's paws are kind of all like hands the way they work together, so that's why he was able to do so many all at once. "I've been coming to this breakfast for years," a man said, "but I've never seen pancakes made like this before." "I've never eaten this many pancakes before," said a girl. "I didn't even like pancakes before," said another girl, and they all lined up for more. I have a question for you. Do you think that everybody in this picture is happy with the way George is making his pancakes? How can you tell? Did I read anything that made you think that? Can you tell by looking at their faces? Are they happy, and why? Think about that. Can you share that with a person? Good job. When the man returned with his new assistant, he was shocked to see a monkey making pancakes. "This is no place for a monkey," he yelled, and he began to chase George. Look at George's face. He seems to be scared. The chef looks to be angry. George hadn't meant to cause trouble. He only wanted to help. Now he only wanted to get away. Quickly, George found a place to hide, and the man and his assistant ran right by. But where did George go? Do you like to play hide and seek? Are you good at hiding? Good connection. Now take a look at these pictures of George. What do you think is going on with George? It looks like he has a lot of things stuck to him. Why do you think he has so much stuck to him? What would be sticky that he would have been using in the morning with the pancakes? Make a prediction. Let's see if your prediction's right. When it was safe to come out, George jumped down. He was covered in syrup like a pancake, and he was sticking to everything. Did you say syrup? Yes, it was the syrup that was making him sticky. George was curious. Could these napkins help him get clean? I don't know. Let's see what he does. No, the napkins only made it worse. What George needed was some water to wash with. Why, here was the perfect thing. George climbed up. This would do the trick for a sticky monkey. George sat on the bench and splashed himself with water. But all of a sudden, make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen? Have you ever seen a tank like this with a bench filled with water? Have you ever been to a fair and seen something like this? Oh, let's see what's going to happen. Did you make your prediction? Good job. Oh, take a look at this before I read. See, the boy is throwing a ball, and the ball hits that round disc. The disc goes back, and when the disc goes back, the bench goes down, and in the water falls George. Have you seen one of those before? They look like fun, don't they? Splash! George was in the water. What a surprise! George climbed up again and splashed back down. He'd never been in a dunk tank before, and he never had so much fun getting clean. Soon everyone was having fun, and the line at the dunk tank grew even longer than the line for pancakes. Later, the mayor came by. "I've heard all about your delicious pancakes," he said. "You've made our fundraiser a big success, and I have a special favor to ask you." I wonder what that favor's going to be. Seems like George has been the hero of this pancake breakfast. At the end of the day, George got to present the money from the fundraiser to the president of the hospital. "Thanks to you, George, this has been our best year ever," she said. "Will you come back and make pancakes again next year?" George nodded, and everyone cheered. Good job, George. He's a good little monkey. All right. You did a nice job making connections, and you did a great job answering questions, and hopefully you were able to answer your questions that you had at the beginning of the story. You also did a nice job making predictions, too. Good job being a good listener, because good readers are good listeners. Nice job, boys and girls. I'll be back again soon with another story for us to read. Enjoy the rest of your day.